Look at the FIFA World Cup trophy. It stands as the ultimate prize in global sports, representing the pinnacle of grace, agility, and technical perfection. Today, we call football the beautiful game. To succeed at the highest levels, a player relies almost entirely on quick footwork, complex strategy, and pinpoint accuracy. But the sport wasn't always played this way. If you look closely at its origins, you'll find early versions of the vision came at contests of physical force, where a small frame meant you simply wouldn't survive the afternoon. Before the modern rules existed, the field was a battleground. Victory on the pitch belonged exclusively to the biggest and the strongest competitors. To appreciate how a player with a severe physical disadvantage eventually conquered the entire sporting world, we have to trace how football deliberately outgrew its violent past. Over 2,000 years ago, the Aztec people played a game called chacatoli. The objective was to get a ball through a stone hoop without using your hands, and that ball was made of solid rock, making every block and pass a massive physical risk. The stakes were quite literal. Often, the captain of the losing team was sacrificed to the deities immediately after the match. Meanwhile, around 206 BC, the Chinese military used a similar sport called cuju. While the ball was leather stuffed with feathers, the game was designed specifically as a grueling physical conditioning tool to keep soldiers in fighting shape. Fast forward to 12th century England, and local mobs played a variation known as folk football. It involved kicking, tackling, and punching the ball with fists. The violence was so severe, leading to widespread injuries and damaged property, that the authorities officially banned the game. That ban stayed in place for centuries. The turning point arrived in 1848. A group of undergraduate students met in a Cambridge courtyard and drafted exactly 11 rules to regulate the chaos. The most critical law they nailed to a campus tree was the strict prohibition of handling the ball. By disallowing the hands, they separated football from rugby and forced players to rely almost entirely on footwork. The British Empire exported these rules worldwide. Domestic clubs formed, FIFA was established in 1904, and by 1930, players were rushing the field in Uruguay for the very first International World Cup. By systematically removing the violence and banning the use of hands, the Cambridge rules achieved something entirely unintended. They created a highly specific environment where pure technical skill could outmatch raw physical size. Born in the dense city of Rosario, Argentina, in 1987, young Lionel Messi had an undeniable talent for moving the ball with his feet, but his physical frame was noticeably small. At age 10, doctors diagnosed him with a growth hormone deficiency. His physical development stalled, leaving him significantly smaller than the other kids on the pitch, and placing his future in the sport in serious jeopardy. The prescribed treatment required daily hormone injections. For his working-class parents, a steel factory manager and a magnet workshop employee, the cost of the medication created a heavy financial strain. Right before his 11th birthday, his beloved grandmother passed away. She had been one of his biggest supporters, and he made a private vow to honor her every time he scored a goal. In 2001, he relocated to Spain to join Barcelona's prestigious La Masia Youth Academy. The transition was brutally difficult. Transfer conflicts kept him out of official matches, and his quiet nature combined with severe homesickness left him isolated. Struggling to adapt in a foreign country without a physical advantage, Messi leaned entirely on the mechanics the Cambridge rules were designed to protect. He compensated for his lack of size with hyper-focused technical precision. Messi utilized that precise footwork to dismantle opposing defenses and break nearly every scoring record available in professional football. This chart shows average goal counts for elite players. In 2012, Messi achieved a Guinness World Record by netting an astonishing 91 goals in a single year. That towering data point proved the sport transitioned, rewarding technical mastery above physical dominance. The final test of this evolution occurred under the bright lights of Qatar's Lusail Stadium. Argentina triumphed on the world's biggest stage. Messi lifted the trophy, securing the ultimate victory. And keeping the vow he made as a child, he gazed upward and pointed toward the sky to honor his grandmother's support. It took thousands of years for football to move past rock spheres and brawling mobs. But by prioritizing the rules of finesse over the laws of brute force, the sport created the exact environment required for a kid facing severe physical disadvantages to become the greatest player of all time.